Hello and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. This Sunday morning video going to be a post-match review of Celtic's impressive 3-1 win over Hibs yesterday afternoon at Celtic Park. An impressive result given the fact that Hibs are one of the form teams in the Scottish League. They had only lost one game since last December and are currently lying third and are a couple of results away from guaranteed European football next season. And so beating them 3-1 and convincingly beating them in the end was a very good performance by Brendan Rodgers' team yesterday afternoon. That brought Celtic's total up to 106 goals for the season. That's equal to the number of goals scored in the 2016-2017 season. Also took them up to 61 home goals, which has them only one behind the Martin O'Neill team of 2003-04, which scored 62 goals at home. And with two more wins, Celtic will get to 94 points, which is one more point than last season. And just in comparison, Celtic got 99 in Ange Postecoglou's second season and 93 in his first season. And so Celtic on course for yet another domination of the Scottish Premiership and one win away against Aberdeen at Hampden Park in a couple of weeks' time from treble number 9. So in today's video, we're going to have a wee look at the goals and match incidents, my own player ratings, and also the stats for the game. Celtic started the game very well, on top, a few half chances for Celtic. Hibs not really looking terribly much of a threat. Then Boyle did have a very good shot saved by Schmeichel. Looked offside to me, but the flag never went up. And I have a strong feeling that had that shot gone in, that VAR probably would have disallowed it for offside, but we'll never know. Then, quite against the run of play, Hibs scored the first goal of the game. They had a move down the right wing, our left wing. Nice cross into the box, mishit by one of the Hibs attackers. It bounced off Austin Trusty straight into the path of Martin Boyle. Liam Scales didn't really close down Boyle from getting his shot off, and Kasper Schmeichel had no chance in the goal. Celtic, however, got straight back onto the front foot, got back on top again, and a ball into the box. Adam Ida chased it down. Bashiri, their centre half, blocked out Ida. The goalkeeper came out for the ball. However, Nicholas Kuhn very cleverly nipped in, took the ball round the goalkeeper and scored the equaliser. Just when it looked like probably we were going to go into half-time 1-1. Nice ball into the box from Nicholas Kuhn. Brilliant run by Adam Ida and a great shot past the goalkeeper, putting Celtic 2-1 up at half-time. Celtic kept the pressure up, kept their starting 11 going, and in the 58th minute, a wonderful set of first-time passes with McGregor and Engels, and Hatate took the play from one side to the other. Then nice ball out of the box by McGregor to Engels. Lovely quick pass by Engels first time to Hatate, and he swept the ball past the Hibs goalkeeper into the bottom left corner, and Celtic were 3-1 up. And I think at that time pretty much the game was over. Celtic then took the chance to bring on a few subs. Off went Callum McGregor, and later off went Engels, Hatate, Ida and Kuhn. And nice to see the 17-year-old Sean McArdle get the last 5 minutes of regular time and 5 minutes of added time. And in his brief 5-10 minutes on the pitch. He did look quite impressive, a few nice touches, and it is good to see our better academy and B team players getting a chance in the first team to show them the pathway to the very, very top, with obviously great examples like Forrest, Ralston, McGregor, and next season Kieran Tierney, all showing that there is a good pathway from Celtic's academy and younger teams into first team football and superstardom. Now, looking at the actual stats for the game, showed how strongly Celtic dominated the game. Possession was 76% Celtic, 24% Hibs. Shots were 18 for Celtic, 10 for Hibs. Of those, 8 shots were on target by Celtic, 4 on targets by Hibs. Celtic had 6 shots blocked and had 4 off targets, whilst Hibs had 6 off targets, and Celtic didn't need to block any shots by Hibs. Kasper Schmeichel, backing goals for Celtic, made 3 saves, and Smith for Hibs made 5 saves in their goal. Corners were 8-3 in Celtic's favour, and touches in box, very impressive 32 for Celtic and 11 for Hibs, which did show that Celtic actually defended very well. Made the Hibs players shoot off target, and shots that were goal bound were either saved by Schmeichel or blocked by the defenders and midfielders, and overall was a good all-around team performance. Looking at the player ratings for yesterday's 16 Celtic players, gave Kasper Schmeichel a 7 out of 10, made a couple of nice saves, had not very much at all to do in the second half, and as usual, his distribution and passing out of defence was good, and nice to see him back. Does look like Viljami Sinisalo will be starting the game against Aberdeen on Wednesday, and if Schmeichel comes through the match against Hibs yesterday and through the week of training, I would expect he'll be back in goal for St Mirren and back in goals for the cup final against Aberdeen the weekend after. If Schmeichel does suffer a bit of reaction in his shoulder to the Hibs game, I suspect Sinisalo will get the St Mirren game as well as the Aberdeen League game, and that gives Schmeichel an extra week to recover for the cup final. And I'm sure the intention is that he, Carter Vickers, and Johnston will all be back in the back five for that game. Moving on to the defenders, gave Anthony Ralston 7 out of 10. I thought it was a nice, tidy performance. Defended very well. Hibs looked much less of a threat down his side of the pitch than they did down Greg Taylor's. Ralston got himself forward a few times, not nearly as good as Alistair Johnston is, but did move into midfield nicely rather than into the final third, and Ralston was the final pass that set up Kuhn for the first goal for Celtic yesterday. I've given Greg Taylor 6 out of 10. I thought it was a rather quiet performance by him. Wasn't his usual self breaking into midfield, wasn't his usual self breaking into the final third, and there were a few more weak defensive moments, as is usual for Greg Taylor, and certainly Hibs look more dangerous down his side of the pitch than they do down the other side of the pitch. I've given Liam Scales 6.5 and Austin Trusty 7 out of 10. I thought Trusty actually got back into first team football rather well, having been out for a few weeks. I think he forms a much better partnership with Cameron Carter-Vickers than he does with Liam Scales. I think it took them half an hour or so to get used to each other again. And I think Trusty got better and better. Liam Scales had one of his better games for Celtic recently. His passing was rather disappointing and poor. And he did lose a few challenges to Boyle and Bowie, but did a wee bit better than he has in recent games, and I thought Trusty actually looked quite assured. I don't think he had the best of luck with that mishit shot by the Hibs player that bounced off his leg. kind of came out of nowhere. I don't think he had really had time to react and get a proper clearance on it. And I thought Trusty's passing is way better than Liam Scales, and for that reason, I'm hopeful that he'll get the start against Aberdeen in both the league match and then the cup match the weekend after. Moving into the midfield, given Callum McGregor 6 out of 10, a wee bit disappointed with his performance yesterday. Maybe just a wee bit of tiredness, maybe a bit bother with his Achilles. So he wasn't quite his usual self. However, some nice passes, some nice blocks and tackles and interceptions in midfield, and did get the ball out of midfield on a regular basis, but not quite his usual best. Given Arnie Engels 7 out of 10, I thought he was a lot more busy than he has been in recent matches. A couple of shots on goal, a couple of lovely passes, and was one of the keys to Celtic's third goal with that lovely pass, first time to Rio Hatate. Given Rio Hatate 8 out of 10 and man of the match. Good passing, good interception, good tackling, good blocking off in midfield, good distribution, and scored the third goal. And so a pretty much an all-around good performance by Rio Hatate. So 8 out of 10 and man of the match. Given Nicholas Kuhn 8 out of 10 as well. Scored a goal and had an assist. Had quite a number of nice runs down his wing. Wee bit of tackling back. Did unfortunately get himself booked, getting into a rather silly confrontation with Iredale, one of Hibs centre-backs, and then did make a rather silly challenge straight after. And on another day, maybe the referee would have sent him off. But otherwise, was a good performance by Kuhn. I've given 8 out of 10 also for Adam Ida. A couple of shots that were well saved by Smith in the Hibs goal. Looks nice and busy up front, some good runs, gets himself into scoring positions and attacking positions very well. He had a beautiful run to get in behind the Hibs defence to take the Nicholas Kuhn pass to score the second goal just before half time. And had a couple of other wee chances in the second half to add to his tally, and that does take him up to 19 goals this season, which I think is very impressive, given the fact that for much of the season he has been the player coming off the bench and not actually starting terribly many games. So well done to Adam Ida, and if all goes to plan in the next 2 or 3 matches, Ida should get himself to 20 goals, which I think for any striker is a good tally to reach for a season. Daz Maida a wee bit quiet, giving him 6.5 out of 10. Not the biggest of threats in creating goals or getting shots on goal. Seemed a wee bit of a quiet performance by him, but still a decent game, so 6.5. In terms of the subs, gave 6 to Forrest, McCowan, Kenny and Sean Mercado. They all came on when the game was kind of over. They all had decent performances without really setting the heather on fire. And I gave 7 to Paolo Bernardo. Did a nice job in that number 6 role, probably his best position in the Celtic team. And some nice passes, some nice breaking up of plays, a couple of nice tackles and blocks. And he, I think, is showing that he has the talents to take over from Callum McGregor in the long run. Also has the talents to play as dual number 6s if Celtic did go a wee bit more defensive in their setup away from home in Europe next season. That just about finishes things off for today's video. Just a wee polite suggestion for all those not yet subscribed to the channel. Please do click that subscribe button. Keep the numbers pushing through the 1200s. If you do like the channel, please do click that like button. It does help with analytics. Do feel free to share the channel and the details with any Celtic fans who aren't subscribed. And as usual, do feel free to pop your pleasant, polite thoughts, opinions, comments into the comment section regarding yesterday's performances, the goals, the incidents, and your own ratings where applicable for any of the players. And also, given the fact we're playing again on Wednesday and Rodgers is planning a few changes to the team, any wee thoughts about who should get rested, who should get brought in, and who should maybe kept on the bench to keep them fit and fresh for Flag Day and then Cup Final and hopefully Treble Day in a couple of weeks against Aberdeen. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.